Good evening, and welcome to another scene in the living world of darkness, rage across New York. Today, we find the Pride of the Sun, well, pieces of it, uh, getting together in order to track down the Korax, right place, wrong time, um, looking to put an end to Vasili's spy in the Sept of the Green, one way or the other. And in order to do this, they have contacted the Den Father Toby, who has a relationship with the Korax, in order to get him to agree to meet with them under the Fianna Castle. And when Jacob and Zelda arrive, um, nobody is here except Blinds the Weaver, who is waiting for Zelda, but there is no Korax as of yet.
All right.
Well, we would have known that Blanche showed up, or is she just here?
She just seems to be here as you show up. She is sitting there with her laptop, pounding away on a keyboard, and she looks up when the two of you enter, but doesn't stop what she's doing, just stares.
Hey.
Zelda gives hello in Russian, because I don't know what it is. What are you doing here? If you don't mind me asking.
She smirks and says, "You know I don't speak Russian, right?"
But you can read it?
No, I can use Google Translate.
That's what that was. Okay. Oh, I'll store that for later.
Do you have something for me?
I do. She reaches back from her pocket, pulls out a phone. It's a brand new phone. It has a new case on it and everything. She opens it up and basically pulls up an app that that seems to connect to some kind of brain game or wisdom of the day type shit. But it's really something that she would recognize that kind of activates the phone in a sense. To at least the true powers of the phone. You kind of get that spirity feeling off of it, and she just lays it on the table and uses her fingertips to push it forward. There you go.
Blinds slides it towards her and goes through it for a good moment or two. And then when she finishes, she nods and says, "All right, challenge completed. Well done. You can keep this, by the way. I already have one." And she pushes it back across the table towards Zelda and just goes back to typing on her computer.
Wait, you already have one. You already have one?
Uh-huh. I'm a theurge.
There's a Twitter joke in here somewhere, but I'm not finding it.
I wouldn't bought a new phone in ever.
Congratulations on your new phone. What were you using before? A BlackBerry? A flip phone?
Ouch.
No. God damn it.
Mm.
It's not some clean tablet.
Look at the indignation.
She reaches forward and snatches up the phone.
Didn't you like lug around one of those bricks or something before?
Jacob, Raya, I will break this phone and cut you to throat with the glass. Don't get in on this either.
And that's almost a threat now. She's like actually a fostering.
I'm sorry. I'm okay. I. It's done. It's done. Thank you.
Very
Raya.
well done. Look at it. That's a work of art. Put a lot of time into that.
I did, and actually a piece of me.
Ooh.
Anyways, thank you for the challenge. I'm sorry for the threat, Raya. It was a
So what,
joke.
so what are y'all doing here?
Gotta talk to a Corax.
Oh,
Yeah.
the traitor.
Yeah. He's in trouble. But we think we can get some use out of him as opposed to killing him, which would be more optimal.
Well, that's some cold, calculated shit.
I mean, that's the practical overview. At the end of the day, I don't really see any reason in killing him if he can do us some good. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
be crazy to think they can come out on the other end with us and not expect some kind of request or task given to him to either redeem himself or be punished. So, might as well make it something, I guess, constructive.
yeah. And now he has all the reason to do so. So,
Mm. Hope springs eternal, I guess.
that's what keeps us going.
I call it coffee.
Mm, that works too. And vodka.
She looks over at Zelda, quirks her brow.
Hmm. What? You never had coffee and vodka before?
Well, vodka goes with anything, I guess.
Hmm. Now that you mention it, probably yeah.
Super basic, just
Yeah.
like you.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
She showed up at my doorstep, unannounced, demanded a fostering challenge from me, an
I
outsider.
act.
Demanded.
No, 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 no. I did
Mm-hmm.
not. I did not demand.
You did.
I asked.
And then you're all like, tell me all about this Malazia person.
Oh, did you know?
And
Oh, yeah. No, I think I actually heard about that. Yeah.
then Havoc showed up and did the same thing.
No, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you got a fucking queue. You're in demand.
Yeah, he was much less fun.
Havka generally is.
Zelda at least has a sense of humor, I think.
She winks at blinds. Speaking of
Somewhere.
which, have you made any progress?
Well, with all of these interruptions, it's hard to get any work done.
Oh.
Huh.
I do feel sorry about Havoc, though. I wouldn't wish that on any enemy.
He was very curious as to what I've been doing with my time, as if I, like, you know, answered to him.
Bold strategy. Guess it didn't work out.
I don't know. He's adorable.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't
No
know if I would
comment.
agree, but okay.
Adorable in that, like, pitiable, pathetic way, not in, like, actually cute.
Oh. Okay. I can maybe see this.
Just like you.
Oh man.
And you're really setting yourself up here.
For what?
Oh no, not you.
Oh. Yeah, she is making it very easy.
I've barely said anything though.
I'm pretty sure there's a song about that.
Yeah.
You say it best when you say nothing at all.
Wow. Okay. Where the fuck is this Korax at?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
It's
I
fine.
feel like
I'll
this
shut
is
up.
gonna I feel like this is just gonna devolve into a challenge before I even have a chance to bargain with the asshole.
Leave you two to your business.
You can stay if you want.
Oh, I was gonna stay. I was just gonna like go back to what I was doing over here.
Okay.
And so a few minutes pass, another 10, 15 minutes or so, and eventually in the doorway comes this individual, and the expression on his face is hella grim. You don't even have to roll your perception empathy. You know that this is the face of somebody who knows that they are caught. And he walks forward, looks at the two of you in blinds, and holds out his hands and says, "Well, here we are."
Yeah, here we are. Wanna take a seat?
No, if that's all right.
Doesn't really change anything, I guess. UK if it's older.
Doesn't matter if he stands or sits to me.
Hmm. So, judging from the look on your face, I'd assume you know that we know.
Yes.
How long you been at this for?
Only since I arrived.
I see. How long has he been arrived for? Been present,
Mm,
roughly speaking.
8 months?
Okay.
So you and the pillar came in together to do this.
You said like I had any choice.
But it gives us a better perspective on the time frame.
Yes.
And you didn't think You didn't think her parts showing up in boxes was any kind of indication of what might happen to you?
Do you think I'm stupid?
Hmm.
I hold no illusions. In war, the spy always has the most dangerous job. I don't want to
But
be
you,
doing this.
no, you're doing this because your family was taken hostage, much like our own.
Yes,
Do you know their current state of being?
it's worse for them. We don't have kinfolk like you. They don't know anything about this world that we live in. They're just normal people. Hopefully, well, the peddler's family lived. I hope my failure will not prompt them to do worse.
They, they did.
I'm sorry?
They're very much dead.
The, the information, part of which I assume you delivered, that resulted in Jaina being kidnapped. They were present at the same facility, but they were not as they were. They were experimented upon in some twisted cybernetic research, and they didn't make it through the process.
As you say that, his expression gradually falls until just a look of horror sort of sets in. And he wanders over to a table and just like tries to come to a seat and just falls onto the ground.
Zelda walks over and helps him up.
He doesn't take it. He kind of pushes her away
Oh, well then,
and begins to just sort of like hug his legs and just yell into his knee.
Yeah, Jacob will take a seat opposite of the one he was gonna take, and he's just gonna wait for him a little bit, give him a few minutes to process. He's not capable of talking right now. There would be no point. Just found out his family was dead.
Eventually, he sort of settles into just a labored breathing and just the very, very occasional groan.
at any point when Peddler died, did you not think to come to us to maybe let us know what was going on? Or is this outcome ultimately better?
Do you know how difficult it is to lie to your half moons? He would know. He always knows.
Did you know where they were being kept at this whole time?
No.
Do you know we have means to finding them?
I know you can't find her.
True, but I mean, you're kinfolk.
They're not kinfolk. They're
Well, what
humans.
humans, whatever. They actually mean something to you.
They're dead now.
He, well, true, but what I'm saying is that yes, a half moon is hard to lie to, but you can't lie to him if you're not there to lie. You could have told us we could have done something quick.
That's not how he arranges things. He's not a fool. Deception is incredibly hard. Saying nothing is sometimes as telling as saying anything. Now it doesn't matter.
Malaysia said you had fulfilled your purpose, and that's why they did what they did. I was actually, well, this may sound strange, but I'm actually quite surprised you're standing here at all. I was seriously considering hunting you down because I thought they would have tried to assassinate you as a loose end.
He's got tears running down his face, but he still manages to laugh at that. And he says, they probably think you're going to kill me anyway.
Yeah, it was definitely, I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely something that was on the table considering the implications of what's happened. But what would be the point? I don't really see a purpose in murdering you, either morally or practically speaking. It doesn't make sense.
And what was the purpose in murdering those kinfolk?
For her own amusement.
Not those. Vasily's. Because they slighted you? I've done no different. Why should I be treated different?
I tried to give one of the men out, only one of them took it, and then someone betrayed that agreement, and they're going to be punished for that. I prefer to provide opportunities for people than take them away.
And what opportunity are you going to give me?
I want you to help us track down Vasili and Malaysia. And I want to know everything you know about him as of right now and everything you've told him. Because I need to know how. I need to know how screwed we are. And how much you told them.
Zelda just sits herself up on a table, just like lets one of her legs kind of hang off. Folds her arms over her legs. Think this
But
is
I'd rather get. Oh, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, just think of this as a way to kind of rebuild some of the misplaced trust. Maybe not waste your people's memory.
My people are dead. They don't have memory.
You're not
Well,
interested? Oh, sorry.
what would I gain from your trust? You should just kill me, Jacob Clay. Just fucking kill me. Because working against him, that's killing me anyway.
Surely a better death than just laying down and waiting to die, surely.
Is it? I think that Vasili and Malazia can come up with plenty of creative ways to kill me that would last and linger. If you practice what you preach, at least it would be fast.
Maybe they're almost certainly looking to kill you anyway. You working for us wouldn't change that fact.
No, it wouldn't.
And I'd much rather you work to set things right than just, well, die and then nothing's right at all.
Are you not listening? Working against him is dying. You're going to send me to my death. It doesn't matter which way is better or which way is worse. I end up in the same place. So tell me, Jacob Clay, are you sending me to die? I want you to say it.
Yeah, I'm sending you on a suicide run. Wouldn't even be the first time I've done that to somebody. Be precisely my second. But I don't see a fair way out for you other than you helping us out with that, unless you got an alternative that is better than those two options, because I am open to that, to ideas. But we both know something's gonna happen.
You're a cold human being. The Garu part, I can see the nobility. I respect your rank. But the person standing to me, talking to me, you're not much different from him.
Also,
The casual way in which you talk. It's very easy. Dictating life, dictating death. I suppose that's the half moon in you.
I'd say I'm very used to it, but I wouldn't. But I acknowledge it for what it is. I'd rather not be having this conversation at all, but as you said, here we are.
Neither of us had a choice. It was always going to end this way. My only hope was that he would have extended my family the same courtesy as he did the peddlers. Clearly, I'm not that lucky. So, if you're open to other options, I have one. I will trade that for my life, if you deem it worthy.
All right. I'm willing to
There's
hear you out.
there's a way to find Malazia. I don't
Right.
think you would have any trouble finding Vasili. He's pretty in the open.
He has
And
an office.
he looks at Zelda.
Hmm. Yeah. So what is it?
There's a very old spirit. Not many are aware of, not even your Theurges. One that has been lost to obscurity in history and time. But it's still around if you know where to look.
What spirit is this?
He's the cat's paw. The consummate thief.
Can I roll spirit lore?
Sure.
Sure, I'll actually do that too.
Difficulty 9.
Ooh.
999.
Oh, I actually succeed.
Mm. Mm. I'm just gonna go with 5d10 because that's all I remember. I don't think I have level 2 yet. Don't remember. Woohoo! 1.
So, this vaguely rings a bell. This Incarna is very old, much more prevalent in the medieval era than modern days. Um, you're not entirely sure that um, you would even begin to know where to find it. But it is a spirit that has been known to be able to get things if you're willing to pay the price. And often it is a steep price. And this is sort of as you're thinking about it, right place, wrong time is sort of saying as much. The Koraks know where to find them. Whatever it is that is keeping Malasia off of your radar, so to speak, the cat's paw may be able to relieve her of it for the right price.
It tends to be his prices. Is there a story or an example of such prices paid for his services?
Back in the day, he always did favor a thief getting caught. Often meant losing a hand.
Hmm. Do you know where to find it?
Yes.
Could you tell us where?
Depends. Depends on if you find this to be reasonable. A reasonable trade for my life. Which you admit isn't worth much.
I try
Okay.
not to ascribe a defined value to life. I find that in and of itself tends to devalue it. Although in this very strange world, we always end up giving up pieces of ourselves anyway.
You might find yourself being asked to give something similar away. Cat's paw is he demands a heavy price, but it is the fastest way and easiest if you know where to look. At this point, Blinds the Weaver pipes up and says, "Well, that sounds silly.
What do you mean, Blinds?
How the fuck would you give pieces of yourself away to some archaic spirit? The world's not that big anymore. We'll find him, or find her. Might be a little harder, but we'll find her." And then Right Place, Wrong Time laughs and says, "And in that time, who knows what she does? More of your kinfolk? Maybe your actual comrades? Every day she spends in anonymity is another day that she can harm you." Blind scoffs.
Well then, perhaps depending on what we find out what this price is, maybe be something that you'd be willing to take up.
Cat's paw is a canny spirit. He takes from those who stand to benefit.
Yeah.
Sort of the
prototype.
prototype Robin Hood from your stories. He doesn't demand the sacrifice of others. He demands sacrifice of self.
The way you spoke about it before implied that there was a quicker and easier way, but there was also perhaps, by mission A, slower yet better way. I'm looking for better ways, not necessarily faster routes to the goal. That's exactly what Vasili preaches.
To be clear, Blinds said that's bullshit. It might take longer, but don't go after this nonsense with the spirit. Blind said that, not Right Place, Wrong Time. Right Place, Wrong Time said that Cat's Paw is the fast way of finding her.
Jacob considers this.
How badly do you want her?
Well, that's the thing. I really don't. I don't want Vasily or Malaysia. I'd rather they just stop fucking with us.
That's not true.
Killing them does not service the goals of the nation or defeating the worm at all. It's just the removal of a threat they've decided to make of themselves because they can, or because they have some political or ethical point to make. That they have decided to make with blood and spite, in spite of the fact that they've actually built something that might actually be of value to the world. it is immensely frustrating to witness. And again, we're falling upon each other because we just can't tolerate each other enough to get the fucking job done. That even when we build something of value, we're still more interested in shedding each other's blood than actually doing something right. So no, I do not want them. I don't. I wish they'd never darkened my doorstep at all. I wish they'd just gotten on with creating their little IES and they could have lived their lives and we would have never had to come to loggerheads. But I'm hunting them out of obligation and nothing else. Purely because they are a threat and nothing else. Because they have forced my hand.
And now that your hand is forced, how badly do you want her?
Given the methods that they have applied to both of us, I know that it is likely the casualties we suffer are going to be the most vulnerable and not be among ourselves.
They know where you live.
Yeah. If they wanted to take a shot at me, they could have. They haven't.
Oh man. Speaking
And
of
that's
which,
and that's
speaking of
very
which,
lucky for you.
speaking of which, Zelda does get off the table and she does go to kick fucking uh right place, wrong time in the testicles.
What?
He's part of the reason why she had the bounty on him or on herself.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she stomps at him, and he covers himself as best as possible.
Yeah, she does that. She's like, it's almost like he reminded her to do this, and she just gets up like a machine, like it's just pre-programmed, and she doesn't care. She just hoofs her foot trying to like right between his legs, or tries to, whatever. Just a moment of flash like vengeance and kind of rage.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of sees it coming. He's trying to like shield himself from you as you're trying to kick the shit out of him.
And she just says in Russia, "This is for my kinfolk specifically, and me. $5 million bounty, you asshole."
That wasn't my idea.
Doesn't matter. You probably told him where I lived.
I gave you my offer. If you don't wish to take it, then I appeal to your nobility, Jacob Clay, or at least the nobility that you ascribe to yourself, that you just fucking kill me. Because sending me back after them is doing the same. And it would be worse.
Jacob's clearly mulling over the options to the point where, like, his his clave's out, and it's kind of twirling at 180 degrees at a time before pausing for a second and then being turned or twirled again, as if he is deciding what could possibly lead to the least loss of life.
This isn't something that I wanted to do. Obviously, this is... Well, there wasn't a good end. And there couldn't
No.
be. And I knew it. But what could I do? If I die, they die. They die, I die. I know that this puts my people in a precarious place. This isn't something that either of us wanted. That's why I came to you, instead of trying to flee.
I'm a true guy, him. Well, unless he has manip sub 10, I think I succeed.
He's not lying. And unlike you, we're not able to fight. If the same thing had happened to you, maybe you would have fought to the death, and maybe it might have done something. But not for us. Not against you. One of you.
I mean, we still stand to gain from you coming with us and you petitioning the spirit to work on our behalf and you taking the price of the chiminage for whatever.
It's not how the chiminage works. I told you. I have nothing to lose. He's not interested in someone like that.
Yeah, in all three of these options, someone's getting fucked. In the first option, I kill you, we prolong this conflict. Almost certainly more people, likely more kinfolk will die. In the second option, you almost certainly suffered a horrible, prolonged, ignominious fate. And only in the best case situation do you come back with something of value for us. And get to have some sort of peaceful ending. And then the third option, well, God knows what Catspor is going to ask for.
But you would get results. Option 2, that's not reality.
No, it's not.
If they've already killed my family, there's nothing that I can gain.
Can you at least tell me what you have told them and what you know of them so far? At least that before we make any decision, because one, that may impact it, and two,
They know where you live, they know where you work, they know where you go, they know what you do. They know most of the current events on the Sept that I've been privy to.
okay. Are you aware of any other spies on the Sept?
No.
Okay. And
at this point, he doesn't need that information anymore.
Do you know why?
Whatever it is, whatever he's planning to do, he's close. He stopped asking for reports long ago.
So I look down and he kind of contemplates that fact.
Zelda just says through Packlink, whatever you decide to do with him, you should probably weigh our relationship with the Korax here. If you kill him by your own hand, it'll probably make things even worse. Or you can hand him over to them and let them deal with him in their own way. Whatever that is maybe they can clue us in on whatever they do, but at least they do it by their own hand and it's not ours.
If he is going to die, I'd rather not prolong it. I'd rather take the option that is closest to the morally correct thing here. There is no good option here.
Sure, we'll let the Korax do it, in my opinion.
What would the Korax do to you? Right time. Considering the situation.
I couldn't say.
I'd rather not pass the buck. At the same time, you are of them and not of us.
Well, if your Ronin is separate from your society, that makes me separate from them.
Hmm.
It might do us some good to confer with them to see what they say. And if we do plan to kill him, at least we can be honest with them up front. Give them that dignity.
Odds. Whatever situation, I'd like that conversation to be faster than this one because, as Right Time has said, whatever Vasili is doing, he is definitely closing on his goal. And it is clearly not. He clearly does not have good intentions for us.
Well, we'll just need to make sure we get him to call his people as soon as possible. Until then, he can stay in the cells.
Sounds fair, but I'd like any discussion to be quick. I mean, this conversation, this meeting is...
What is your answer, Jacob Clay?
Jacob considers sort of one final time his only real priority is making sure that at least there is the least amount of suffering in whatever situation occurs. And he will actually, he's going to ask Blinds something. He'll say to Blinds, one last question before I give an answer. Blinds, why are you so against meeting with the cat's paw, given that it would appear that it would lead to the least loss of life?
I learned a long time ago that ancient spirits don't think about things the same way we do. And they're the hardest to deal with. Whatever you think the cost might be, it's probably 10 times worse.
Jacob sighs in... Actually, he'll take a rage. This is all extremely frustrating for him. Out of character, I'm trying to figure out what is the least horrible, repugnant option available, but... they're all terrible. I've come to a decision. You can go.
What?
Oh, you can leave.
He looks from Jacob to Zelda.
Zelda kind of has this thing where she like crosses her arms and like leans, just kind of like leans over just a bit, and then kind of like sidesteps, and then kind of like clearing a path for him, and then she kind of makes like this subtle hand gesture with her thumb to leave.
Executing for you for nothing would be pointless. Sending you on a suicide run, as you say, is delusional. The cat's paw... Well, from from both of you, who frankly are more educated than me, suggests that the price may be too steep.
He doesn't say anything. He pushes out the chair and does like this little stumble, like run towards the door, and then turns and looks at all of you again, confused, and then flees out. Blind says, "Well, that didn't go the way I thought it would."
What point is there in killing him? If the cat's paw isn't worth it, there's no point in killing him. His kinfolk are dead, our kinfolk are dead, everybody's fucked. No need to waste one more life over it. Maybe he'll find a way to do some good without building up the same grudge that Vasili did.
He just thought he was doing his best to protect his family. I can respect that to an extent.
I can see why people would want him punished. I mean, I kind of came here with the intent of punishing him, but is it even worth it? It was an impossible situation. And he came here ready to die. I can respect that.
Blind smirks. Well, maybe you aren't such a son of a bitch, Jacob.
Man, that implies you were a son of a bitch before.
I mean,
Well-
I'll probably find some way to prove you guys wrong and disappoint you horribly. But thanks.
She smirks. I think that was the right call.
Me too. Although, we might have to placate our friends. But,
Well, that's their problem now.
True.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to go hunting after him, they're welcome to do so, but it would be a waste of their time. We've got bigger fish to fry, and those bigger fish are Vasili and Malaysia. And I trust you both to figure out how to unravel whatever's keeping her hidden.
I'm working on it. Speaking of which, anyone want to go on a field trip?
Sure.
I'll go. It's the least I can do. Considering you've been putting a lot of work in on trying to crack that code.
I think we might be able to find some answers in the cyber realm.
Ah,
Oh, goody.
I've never been there, but I've heard of it.
Well, it's good for an Athro to get out, huh? See the Umbra.
Yeah, this will be, God, like the fourth underworld I visited.
Oh, you're not very worldly as they go.
On a physical level, yeah. On an astral level, yeah, not so much. Kinda, sorta. I may have been to a few, but not have known it. It's all, some of it's hazy.
I think that if we're going to get that Glasswalker reject whore, that's where we're going to do it. And she snaps her laptop closed. Unless anyone has anything else, I think that's where we can end the scene.
And that's it for me.
Yeah.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Good night.